Hi everyone, recently I did a comparison between the Poco X6 Pro and the Poco X6, and when it comes to the camera performance itself. Today the focus will be just the Poco X6, but if you want to see that comparison, link in the description where you can check that one out. But when it comes to the Poco X6, let's discuss the performance of it and showcase images that I've taken on this Poco X6 and if it's worth your money when the camera is your focus. But before we start talking about results, let's look at the specifications for the Poco X6 Pro when it comes to the hardware itself, of course, CPU and the camera sensors itself, apart from the 2 megapixel sensor that really shouldn't be a thing anymore, but here we are. So when it comes to the Poco X6 Pro, the CPU is the Dimensity 8300 Ultra. My version also comes with 512GB of memory and 12GB of RAM, which is UFS 4.0 when it comes to the memory. When it comes to the camera setup, we get a 64 megapixel main sensor with an f-stop of 1.7, 25mm equivalent, and it does come with optical image stabilization. The 8 megapixel sensor is an ultra wide and of course an f-stop of 2.2 and a 120 degree field of view. And we get that third sensor which is a 2 megapixel sensor, and it is of course a macro. Max video recording is at 4K and 30 frames per second, but you can also record at 24 frames per second, 1080p and 30 frames per second, and of course 60 frames per second. When it comes to the selfie camera, it's a 60 megapixel sensor with an f-stop of 2.4 and a 1/306 sensor size. Max video recording is at 1080p and 60 frames per second. So let's take out the Poco X6 Pro to my city and get some shots with my perspective being shown and how I approach the shots as well. I will do some separate shots with music and everything, so you can just see the results itself, but I also want to showcase how I approach my shots, so you get a clear indication on what I do when it comes to photography.
I really like the style of this building. Alright, let's see, black and white. Again, these filters make a huge difference for me. Alright. Let's see. Needs a bit more contrast though. Actually, maybe I can capture these birds photo. Turn around, please. And then this view can actually make a pretty decent shot of this potentially. Maybe if I can get the bridge with it. Like so. What I really like here is how the sun comes through.
So when it comes to video recording, the max capability is 4K and 30 frames per second, but you can also record 4K and 24 frames per second, where you cannot with, for instance, the Poco X6. When it comes to video recording, it's gonna be capable enough, and especially with the main sensor itself, it's gonna do perfectly fine. But either way, let me just showcase results when it comes to this Poco X6 Pro and the camera performance when it comes to video recording.
Well, I love the city of Arnhem. It has a mix of modern and old school. Don't like these kind of buildings. Too modern. Doesn't look nice for photography at all. Now the Pro can record up to 4K 30 frames per second, but also 24 frames per second. You can also not zoom out while recording in that resolution. Alright, of course limited to 1080p, 60 frames per second. I will say, yes, would I like 4K 30, 4K 60, yes, but then the quality matters, right? Not so much the resolution for me. And especially for someone who doesn't use front-facing camera that much. Blown out skies, logically, sunset is coming up, so it makes sense that that happens. But overall, it looks fine looking at it like this.
At the end, the Poco X6 Pro is a capable phone when it comes to the camera performance itself. Again, we are talking about camera performances. I'll leave the other type of reviews to others because, simply put, I think most phones will do quite well in day-to-day life. Especially when you come to a phone around this price, they will have a capable CPU performance and just capable performance in general. Especially if you do get 512 gigabytes of memory inside, that is actually quite nice. Would I say this is the best that you can get for the price itself? Again, I would say no. There are some options out there, possibly if you're lucky, to get last year's flagship, and you will get better performance in terms of camera. Now, I'm not saying that's coming down to the CPU as well. It really depends on what kind of flagship you're getting. If you get a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 performance, so that's technically 2 performances back, you would have heat issues, where I haven't experienced that with the Poco X6 Pro. But either way, when it comes to price to performance in terms of camera, it is actually quite capable. Do keep in mind though that it doesn't come with a headphone jack. So for video recording, audio performances will be a little bit less if you do want to use a headphone jack, which you do get on the Poco X6. Also, one advice: do not get this phone in black. Because while it looks nice black, this one is very smudgy. The back is made out of plastic just like the frame itself, but it's very prone to having actually a lot of dust around the sensors itself, around the main frame around the sensors, and of course the back itself. It's a fingerprint magnet, and the only day that it actually looked really clean is the moment, like 2 seconds before I removed the whole casing around it. So yeah, definitely when it comes to the Poco X6 Pro and the normal X6 as well, I will get one that isn't black. And this one comes in yellow as well, and I will get that one because that has the leather effect. Anyway, let me know what you think about the Poco X6, what you think about the performance itself, and would you pick up a phone like this? I think overall it's a fine device, and I think when it comes to the camera performance, especially the main sensor, it does deliver what you need. Either way, don't forget to like, subscribe and everything. We're really close to 5K, so almost at half where I really want to be, at 10K. Of course, I really want to be like much higher, but that's beside the point. We'll get to there. Maybe. Either way, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below, and watch the video in longevity, as in more minutes. It really helps out when it comes to the algorithm. Either way, have a good one, and talk to you guys in the next.